I feel like I'm in the middle, so I should start it, but I don't want to.
All right. Sebastian, start the show.
Welcome to FoxRadioNetwork.com, where we talk about the Cardinals and baseball and just all that we've done this season. It's kind of a sad episode, I have to say. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's kind of sad for multiple reasons. I mean, it's the last one that we'll be doing for the season, and the Cardinals baseball's over, and Nico's sneaking. So,
Make sure the microphone was on.
It's just kind of a sad story, a little bit.
Yeah. I try not to think about it. I'm pretending like it hasn't happened, and I'm happier because of it. I haven't been miserable. I just haven't, I've just kind of erased it, like etch-a-sketched it away.
It didn't happen. Well, I have the perfect analogy for what happened with the Cardinals and Cubs. So the way I see it is like the Cardinals are the older brother and then the Cubs are like the little brother, and they're both playing a video game of like Mario. All right, so like you got Luigi and Mario. Well, the little brother somehow beat out Mario, and the older brother's like, okay, like that just happened. Well, beginner's luck, whatever. Okay, well you go and win this thing. You go defeat Bowser or whatever. And Luigi's like, yes, I got this. And then they just like die, and then they're both sitting there like.
Yeah, I definitely think whenever you look at sort of how they lost to the Mets, like all of their emotion, all of their energy really went to that Cardinal series. Mm-hmm. They kind of like that was it for them. I mean
Well, I mean, like, for them, beating the Cardinals is probably the most exciting is the most exciting thing that's happened to them since 1908. So, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't mean to sound like salty or whatever, but I guess they can have their moment.
I mean, playing the devil's advocate a little bit, like I was kind of happy for the Cubs a little bit. Like, not that they beat us, but once they did beat us, it was like I said, like the older brother's like, well, okay, go on and do it. Like, do it.
Right.
Because we got knocked out, so it's like, do your best, man.
Yeah.
So, and then they got knocked out, and it was kind of like, really? Like, you did that for no reason. Like, great.
I mean, I have mixed feelings about it, because on the one hand, America, we love to see our teams break their curses. Like, that's kind of the reason why a lot of people root for the Cavs, the Red Sox back when they were cursed. It's fun to see
just cursed them in that.
Sorry.
But at the same time, I don't know, it's so fun making fun of the Cubs for being cursed.
And that's the thing, though, because I've seen a lot of salt being thrown after the Cubs lost, because the Cardinal fans apparently lost their minds, and they're like, blah, 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 oh, look at the Cubbies, you still suck. And then the Cubbies are like, screw you guys, like, what is your deal? This was our chance, and then you guys rub it in our face. It's like, okay. Yeah,
I mean, like, there's nothing wrong. Like, for me, if I don't have anything personally invested anymore within a series or playoff, series, whatever, I always kind of go on the side of wanting to see history happen.
Right.
Yeah. Like
that would've been cool.
Whenever the Packers got knocked out of the playoffs last year, I wanted to see the Seattle Seahawks go back-to-back and win back-to-back Super Bowls, because we haven't had that in a while, and I was like, oh, this is the best defense of all time. Didn't happen. So I always go on the side of let's see history happen. And then what's crazy is, of course, I think everyone in the world jinxed the World Series thing because of Back to the Future 2.
I think so too. Everybody was so ready for the Cubbies to win. And I mean, honestly, if they would have won, I would have cheered with them. Because
they're cursed.
Sorry for that weird stop. We're back.
Yeah.
We have a ghost in the studio, apparently.
Yeah.
I disagree, because there can be multiple curses going on at once, I think. I don't think it's just like one curse in baseball. So, like, the Cubbies can't hog the curse forever.
No! But in order for a team to reverse the curse, they have to overcome the curse, and they haven't overcome their curse, which was not going to the World Series.
Well, now wait a minute. No, because they were already going against the odds and the fabric of nature by making it to the playoffs to go into the World Series. So that kind of that was like reversing the polarity in Doctor Who. Like, it just confused everything. So the Cubbies made it, and that kind of put the curse on hold. And then the curse was like, yes, all right. And then it jumped onto us. And that's what happened. And that's what I think what happened, because I really, really felt like we were going to lose that first game, but that first game we totally won, and then the rest of it was just downhill and all.
It was all your fault, basically.
I know. I'll take that.
Listen, that was ugly. It was not a very pretty thing.
This year, though.
Yeah.
Man.
So obviously we can't do anything about what has happened.
You're like Back to the Future. You predicted a lot of stuff right, just not that. Like Adam Wainwright coming back and all that stuff. But
So I had pretty much everything up until the end.
So speaking of great stuff and things that made you feel good about this year, what were some of your favorite moments of this season?
the season or the show?
They both kind of go hand in hand.
I have mine if you want me to go first.
Oh yeah, you go first.
Okay, so we were watching, it was one of the first games of the season, and you sent a group text of it's a GIF, and it's this wrestler that is just like, you're like, the way Hayward's hitting right now has me like this, and I read that and I was laughing so hard. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then Hayward had an amazing season.
I think it was either Chris Jericho or something like that, and I'm sure you've seen the GIF if you're at all an internet person. He's sitting there and the rope is in the front of his nose, so he just looks so ridiculous. Probably my favorite GIF ever. But
yeah, I like that. I remember watching that because I was sitting in the parking lot about ready to go into work. I think it was like lunch break or something, and I was reading that and I was laughing so hard. I was like, this is going to be a great season, and it was a great season.
Yeah,
it
it
just
was.
ended terribly.
We can't act like spoiled little brats and not be happy with a 100 win season. You know?
I kind of want the Blue Jays to win now just because, Canada. But, just because. That would be the oddest thing ever.
I'm kind of rooting for the Mets. I'm sticking with the National League.
I have a neighbor that's a Mets fan, so just because of that, I don't want the Mets to.
My brother-in-law's a Mets fan, and if they win the World Series, he's never going to let us hear the end of it. But
that. That's okay. We'll compare it.
So how about you, Steven? You have a favorite moment of the season?
My favorite moment of the show was, it wasn't a fun episode to film, the one where Adam Wainwright got injured, but the bloopers in that episode were so dramatic that was one of
We don't need to talk about that, okay? We don't need to talk about that.
That was the most memorable episode I think we ever filmed, in my opinion. But
if you haven't seen the blooper reel that we have, it's on our Facebook page, Fox Radio Network, Facebook.com/Fox Radio Network. Definitely check that out. We've had some good times on this show.
That was fun. The blooper reel was really fun.
I will miss doing this show for the season, and it's sad that it's ending so abruptly.
Gosh.
But I agree. I think we've had a really cool run this year. It was a really impressive season. But for me, I'm excited for I'm already okay, what do we do for Birds and Bats to have a better show next season? What do we do for the Cardinals to be better next season?
Franchise 4. That was a good episode.
Oh yeah, that was
I like that one. For I think 3 episodes prior to that one, I'm like, are we doing Franchise 4 yet? Can we do the Franchise 4? I really want to do the Franchise 4. I talked to my dad, and I really want to do the Franchise 4.
I'll say my favorite episode personally had to have been the Card Wars episode, because
that was awesome.
That was the one I spent most time on being stupid. And what's really fun is if you're in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and you know about the Boys and Girls Club steak and burger dinner, we have that every year, and currently coming up, the speaker for that is going to be Michael Waka. And it was funny because I told these guys before the announcement was made, I was like, hey, someone big's going to be here this year, and it was Skywalker. And Mackenzie's reaction to Skywalker might have been my favorite thing in the world. Also,
it's so good.
That episode is the one that we got most feedback on, and it was so funny how mad people were getting. They're like, please no more Star Wars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I think it was because on Star Wars Day, they had a Star Wars Day at the park, and I don't think it went well, and so I think people were hey.
I don't watch the show because I hate watching myself, and I wasn't in that episode, so that was one of 3 episodes that I watched, and that was my favorite episode that I watched. I remember you were trying to guess some of those, and I was just yelling, "Come on, it's John J. Binks! Come on!"
I think I was trying to get too complicated with it. I think I was trying to intermix way too much, and he's just it's a Darth Maul me a thingy. That's all it is. Yeah. It's okay.
And now the new Star Wars trailer is out and everything. Yeah. Oh my god, so good. But cool.
Keep the hype going.
Yeah. So right now, As of right now, this is the crew. This is who makes the show
Legitimately,
every time.
he's been in every single episode.
He was once in her belly, or that's not how babies work.
No, I wasn't just lost 100 pounds all of a sudden. That was a baby inside of me.
That's so crazy. At the beginning of the show, she had a human like inside of her.
Now he's outside, and he's sitting up and everything. It's crazy. Look at him. He's like, excuse me. Excuse me?
So yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff has happened. It's been a really fun show, and I'm looking forward to. We don't know when we're gonna come back. We don't know, like, probably spring training. That's when we started the show. I'm already looking forward to that.
I think it's like 158 days until pitchers report. Pitchers and catchers.
It's gonna be a long off season.
It's gonna be a long off season, but the Packers are 6-0. Yeah, no, but anyways,
Rams 2-3.
Oh, who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Hey, this is why they're leaving St. Louis, guys. Come on, show some support. Wait, hold on. That's what I can knock on wood about the Rams.
All
Okay, go for it.
all right, so we're not really gonna be able to plug the future episodes of this show for right now because we don't have any episodes scheduled. So while you're sitting there like, oh, I can't watch Birds and Bats, what should I do? You should check out foxradionetwork.com/Nico Says Things, and I'm plugging my own dadgum show.
Yeah.
And I would hope to get maybe these guys on it at some point and talk about garbage and nonsense.
I'm an expert at talking about garbage.
I'm an expert about talking about nonsense. So,
garbage and nonsense. The new
Birds and Bats.
That is Birds and Bats off season. Is just going to be a new show called Garbage and Nonsense. So dope. But anyways, if you want to check out old episodes, you can hit up foxradionetwork.com/birds and bats. Hit us up on Twitter at Fox Radio Network.
I severely recommend the blooper reel. That was by far my favorite. That was awesome.
I think I'm about to cry. I'm very sad that this is coming into an end.
It is super sad. It is very abrupt. Abrupt.
So
it's an odd word.
For the last time for the 2015 season.
Yeah, those are 15.
What year is it?
This is Birds and Bats. I'm Nico Cuevas.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Mackenzie Berglund.
And we'll see you next season.
Bye.